this here for now because I have to do some things. Okay, I have to do some things, so we're gonna talk about that in a few. But before we get to that, I'm gonna say that there's not too much I can grow from seed this late in the season. Like I would be, this is the month, or later this month, is when you will start growing for your second harvest, which mean, but I would have started the seeds already. And I will be trying to put the second harvest in the ground, which means some of the things that I haven't grown or haven't gotten to a certain stage at this point, I cannot start from seed. Okay, it's kind of late. It's kind of late. And I'm only late because of the season itself, right? Even in the spring, just because in certain areas and certain zones, it's warm even in the winter months, right? Here in Delaware, though, it just gotten out of dipping down into the late 50s, right? 60s. It was still dropping down, and I'm talking about at night. Okay, at night, the temperatures were still dropping in the 60s and close to the 50s. And the things that I want to grow in my garden, for the most part, happen to be things that grow in the summer: watermelon, okra, cantaloupe, bell peppers. These things love heat. Now, if I was growing lettuces and greens and different things like that, then I could have started, of course I could have started it, because they don't mind dipping down into the 60s. Some even will go as low as the 40s and be okay. These things, though, do not like cold weather. Like so even if it's like, let's say it's in the 80s in the daytime, it'll thrive in the daytime. But at night, if it dipped down in the 60s, like, you'll go out there the next day and everything will be dead or destroyed. And there are ways to prevent that. Like, I could have grown outside early on and purchased some things to prevent that. But yeah, I'm not doing all that, right? It wasn't worth it to me. Like, so I grew what I did, and I have it under grow lights in my home, and I grow from seed because it's more economical. But what I found is that some of the things that didn't do well, because I started it and I did put it out, and when it got cold, it killed the plant. So I ended up with a few dead plants, because who would have known that in June it would have dropped down so low at night? You know what I mean? But anyway, that's okay. I'll go get, which I did not want to do, but it'll be just a couple. I'll go get some seedlings. I'll purchase them from a nursery, or even, Lowe's or whomever selling them. Whoever going to give me the best deal and have what I want. Okay, so that's what I decided I'm going to do. Especially, I noticed that I don't really have any bell pepper. That's what I put out, because I love bell peppers. I'm always cooking with them, and I'm like excited to grow them. Cucumbers, I love them, right? These are, you're going to see that I have cucumbers growing and things like that. So I don't think I'm going to need to purchase anything from the nursery on cucumbers. But on my bell peppers, yeah, I was so excited about them. And I thought that they would do well, be okay. But then it dipped down one like a few weeks back. It dipped down close to 40 degrees. Okay. And that was it. They were done. Okay. I did put out a couple of my cucumber plants early, and the birds ate them. That's my fault. That's my fault. It was doing a lot of raining. I did have them covered up, but the rain kind of tilted over the what I had them covered up with, and then the birds just went and ate them up. Now, when they just small like this, these type of things are very susceptible to the environment. They're susceptible to birds. Birds love seedlings. Not only seedlings, but they love seeds. Um, like before, when I was first starting my gardening things and I was growing directly in the ground outdoors, I would go into an area where I know something should have popped up. Like this is just a week. No. Okay, so I started this in a napkin, and then as soon as it got the white tail, which I'm about to show you in a minute, then I transplanted it here because I needed to get them out of the containers. And here are my containers, Ziploc bags, and these containers. Okay, let me put this here. Okay, and these are something that I'm gonna transplant some of these that are larger. I'm gonna get them out of here, and I'm gonna put them in here, and then I'm gonna put them in a bottle. I'll show y'all that in a few. Okay, but I have lots of seeds, lots of things, but they're mostly the same item, just a different how would I say it? Strand, a different strand. Like this, these are peas. I do have peas out there. They're going, and the peas can handle the cold. What the peas cannot handle is the heat. So I do have I think I have 3 pea plants that's out there. I planted them in a shaded area, so it underneath like one of my bushes, and so it could trellis up the bush without me having to purchase anything for it to trellis up. And I made sure that the sun won't burn with the sun heat, because they would have died in that heat wave that we recently had. They do not like heat. If I would have had lettuce out there during that heat wave, it would have bolted. It would have been done. Greens done. You know. Now I'm hearing that there might be certain strands that can handle the heat. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm new to the different strands of different things and why you would get certain strands. But what I do like is like if I like for instance, this is Alaska peas. See that? These peas can handle the cold. Alaska peas, and that's what I have out there. That's why, but they really can't handle the heat. So I had them out there when it was cold. They was doing well. I did put them out there kind of late because I got these later. But I'm seeing pods popping up now. So I'm going to have to start fertilizing them. And I'm quite sure they'll do better. But so when I say different strands, these are called little marbles. Little marbles. See that? And they're peas as well. It's a pea. They don't... What is the difference? Let me tell you something. Some people don't like peas, but peas are so tasty, right? But they do not taste like what's in a can. A canned pea and these peas do not taste the same. When you make something fresh in your garden, you can take these, open the pods, and eat them directly from the pod. And you'll be amazed. Like, you wouldn't want to eat most of these canned goods anymore. Because you will realize that, wait a minute. You will be like, what the hell is that in the can? We've come accustomed to eating things boxed and canned that we don't know what they taste like fresh. And that's why, and the reason that is because when they take it off when they harvest them, right? They have to harvest them early enough so that they survive through processing, transportation, and getting to where it is, being on the shelf, right? They have to survive through that. And so by the time all that happens, the whole item doesn't taste the same. It doesn't taste the same, okay? Bell peppers that you grow do not taste like the bell pepper that's in the store. Why? Because they have to harvest it really early. Now, the thing about a bell pepper, though, is the bell pepper will continue to ripen even after you pick it. But the bad thing to that is it's true that it will ripen in color, but taste, the form of the taste, the sweetness and things like that, that changes, okay? Because yeah. Anyway, I'm talking a lot about that. So different. So let me show you what I've done, because y'all watch me a few times, and I think the last time we were here, I showed y'all. I've been showing y'all this technique for a couple of months now. It's terrible that I couldn't really show y'all all of the steps early, and that's due to my location. Okay, that's due to my location and me being cheap as hell. Okay, if I was wealthy, I could have bought me a little greenhouse out there and all kinds of things. So y'all watched me. I could tell what this is just by looking. This look like okra, right? I could tell by the seed. Now, you're supposed to name them, put names on them. I'm telling you, if you don't put names on your stuff, even these things over here, you will regret it, because they start looking alike, right? And if you don't recognize due to what it is that you're, growing, sometimes it's even difficult. It's difficult until you start learning. So I'm recently, getting into it and learning. I know that this is a watermelon, and I could tell because of the shape of this leaf right here. Okay. I could tell, well, I'm not exactly sure what this is. I do have it written down. I don't want to give incorrect information, because I do swap out the cells like what I'm about to do today. I'm about to swap these larger ones up that's bending now. And I'm about to put them in a different, bigger, or different kind of container. Okay. These type of things, it's leggy. They leggy, but these are tomatoes, and I just put them in here like in the last couple of days, and I'm hoping that everything go well with them. They were in they was in just a regular container with some water in them. I'm gonna show you that. And I had them under the grow lights. So this didn't need grow lights or anything. It just needed a little water, which I put it on a cotton ball. I showed y'all how to do that. Now, I did say some things earlier in the when I was doing this that is true, but there's a caveat to it. I told y'all that y'all could take the cotton ball and plant that as well. But I noticed what happens when I put that in a little container. I'm going to see if I have one to show you. The cotton ball, due to the water, cotton starts to mold, right? Now, mold won't necessarily kill certain plants, but it will kill other plants. So I started noticing this white little furness at the top of the soil. Actually, here goes some right here. See that right here? So originally what I was doing, I was taking the full cotton ball like this, and I was just sitting it in the soil and letting it continue to do its thing. But you see here, now when I noticed that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna see what it does, because certain plants not gonna like that. Okay, we got to also remember, because mold is a fungi, right? And I'm not growing, I told you I'm not growing in soil. This is not soil. This is coffee grounds, tea grounds, or this stuff here. This, okay? And this coconut fiber. And it has no nutrients in it, okay? It has no nutrients in it, and it's good for doing things like this. But the bad thing is, if it grows mold, then you have no nutrients in there, the mold can harm the plants. So it just depends. Okay. So then I went in and I took them out, and I stopped using that way. And I don't know why. It's like, if it was one, I don't know. Like, you need to know what type of cotton you have, balls, because it may not be truly 100% cotton. Okay. And it's not deep enough in the ground. The reason mold is growing because the cotton ball isn't. So if I planted it outside in the ground deep enough, wouldn't have that problem, because sunlight and oxygen is what causes mold to form. But if it's in the ground, so yes, I could put this in the ground, but I wouldn't recommend that neither. Okay, I wouldn't recommend it. And somebody recommended that information that I shared was told to me. So, and I shared it, but I'm finding that information is incorrect. But has it harmed any of my plants? No. That's because I took them out. Okay, I took it out. Anyway, so this is okra, and I am growing a lot of okra this year. Actually, I have too many already, but I'm going to put them in the ground if I have the space. Okay, the thing about okra is it'll grow anywhere, anywhere. Like drought is drought. That means if I forget to go out there and water and things like that, the okra will still do its thing. So, and I love okra. There's many different type of dishes you could cook with it. I put it in my gumbo. I make an okra stew and things like that. And I'm going to tell you, like I buy okra, which I do not like buying because this little bag of okra here says 12 ounces can cost a few dollars, you know. And the thing is, even though when I'll have no other choice, most definitely this is the way to go. Because I don't have no choice. But okra that you grow, you can eat it off the vine. Like it's literally, you can just pull it off and bite right into it. Bite right into it. It's a different experience. It's a different taste than this. Okay? So I'm going to put that back in the freezer. Now, if I tell you how I make my okra, almost everybody who eats seafood would love to eat my okra, baby. Okra stew is when I cook the slime out the okra, because that's the thing most people don't like. And then which means I fry it. Not deep fried, I just, you know, or I put it in the oven and let it bake until the slime cooks out. And then I add sausage, right? Some type of sausage, whether it's boudin, whether it's smoked sausage. You can use hot sausage. You can use your my Cajun sausages, any kind of sausage. Then I use shrimp and crabs. Okay, shrimp and crab. And it's almost like a gumbo, but it's a stew. And you put that on top of rice. Oh my God. I'm over here getting hungry just thinking about it. But anyway, getting back to this. So that advice that I gave is wrong. So this is one type of okra, and this is a different type of okra. And I did this one in the napkin, the way I showed y'all. Now, the way I normally do the napkins is I was putting them in Ziploc bags. But because I had this okra in here on the cotton balls already, what you got to do something with. I see a couple of them didn't do well. Some of them is... I just put this on the cotton ball like 3 days ago. Okay? And this is 3 days worth of what it does. Okay? And here. So, normally when I put it in a napkin, I was showing y'all how to put it in Ziploc bags. Okay? But because I was... I had that okra sitting there. I said, well, I'm going to put these in here. Now, they are different brands. These are emerald. This is the emerald okra. And how do I know? Because I wrote it down. Okay. I wrote it down. I wouldn't know otherwise because those look just like these. And if I'm correct, these are Louisiana... I can't think of the name. Something green. Look, I got three. I have 3 different types of okra, and I don't know I don't know what they taste like. Like I don't know the difference between this taste of that one and that one. But I'm gonna find out this year, and that's only if I could keep them separate and be able to tell the difference. I think I got one that's called a spineless something. One that's called the Louisiana something. And this one is called the emerald. And I do have them written down, and I still have the packages. So although I don't know it offhand, I do still have them here. Okay. So at this moment, that really doesn't matter. I dampened the napkin, and this is just to get this started, and then I could pop them in here. Okay. So that's what I'm gonna do. But what I want to do before I do that. Okay, you don't want to harm the roots. That's what you definitely don't want to do. Come on. And the reason I put them in something like this or a Ziploc bag, that's the greenhouse effect. It gives it the greenhouse effect. Okay. I put a little water in here, and usually when I come back to these, look at this one I'm going to show you. You usually have some water at the top. You see that? That's the greenhouse effect, the sweating. I just did these a couple of days ago. These are beans. This is bush beans. And there, you can see where they popped open. And they're not necessarily, yeah, I think I did this two days ago. About 48 hours ago. So you can see what the process is if you come every day and take a look at it. Okay? And so what happens, they bust out and then the root pops. Okay? And beans are pretty fast too. These are bush beans. Okay? I think I did another one that was beans. Whenever I think I cooked these beans Monday. Was it Monday? What today is? Yes. I cooked beans on Monday. And that's when I put the beans on here. Okay, Monday. And by the way, when you cook corn, the kernel is the seed. Beans, the bean is the seed. There's a lot of things that you grow. The thing that we eat is actually the seed. Okay. And if that's when it's a fruit or vegetable, the item that we eat has the seed inside. So a cucumber, tomatoes. Now, when we talk about potatoes and things like that, and carrots, we're eating the roots. Okay, and so that's what it is. Like we generally can eat pretty much, every part of it, because you can eat the seeds. Like when people say seedless, right? Watermelon. They like the watermelon has no seeds in it. And that's why people was having this conspiracy theory claiming that the watermelon is man-made. And, oh my God, it's not even real. And the reason we know it's not real because it has no seeds. Seedless watermelon does have seeds in it. Okay? They're just edible seeds. And then when I said that on my panel, somebody said, what is edible seeds? That don't make no sense. What do you mean? We eat seeds all the time. When you eat beans, you eating the seed. When you eat corn, you eat the seed. When you eat tomatoes, I don't see anybody plucking out the little seeds in it. The inside of the tomato, those things are covered in seeds, and we eat them. And so if you ever look inside of a tomato and look for the seed, there's a lot of seeds in there, right? It's not just like one seed. It's a few seeds. And then if you look into a seedless watermelon, you will see soft, white seeds. And sometimes they clear, right? It depends on how big and things like that. But anyway, I'm going to grow some white northern beans. I do have some pinto beans. That's I don't think they're in here. I think they outside already. I'm not sure, but so what am I about to do now? I'm about to show y'all. I had my husband go and buy me this little system because he threw mine away. My dad had given me a whole lot of these. And then I had one that I purchased a few years back, 2 of these. And then I go in the backyard to get my stuff and it's gone. He feel like he could just throw my stuff away. Because to him it looked like trash. You know? I'm still mad about that. So I'm a move on. I ain't gonna say nothing, okay? So that's why he hushed me up by going buy me some more. But like, I don't think he understands just because he bought me more doesn't lessen the issue, right? First of all, the issue is that I could have bought more and I just would have had more. And I wouldn't just be working with this one thing. Like, this is a 72 cell, and 72 cells is nothing. Okay? I have to recycle these cells, and that's why I have to do what I'm doing. I've been doing this for weeks now, months, and I shouldn't have to, right? I shouldn't have to do any of this until these things, until everything kind of outgrow. And the reason I pulled this out, because if you take a look, it's individual cells. You see that? And if I want to take that out, first things first, before I do that, because I'm about to make a big mess here on my counter. I showed y'all, I think I recently just showed y'all, to make a mess on my counter. That's okay. I should put a towel down, but I'm going to bleach this anyway after. Okay, so not where I am in my kitchen, y'all. And so anything I use is still, I still have to wash it. So this is cool. So I have some things that I'm growing hydroponically. I already told y'all about that. I'm gonna show y'all. I already showed y'all some things that I'm using, and I'm using soda bottles, right? And I'm also using little cups that I purchased, and we cut the top of the bottle to where this fits in, like that. Okay, now I already explained to y'all that you could grow a plant from beginning to end in this bottle. Okay, there's some stipulations, some things that you got to be careful about, but you could grow a whole head of lettuce on this thing and not have to worry about anything at all if it's big enough. Okay, because the roots, as they grow, they will start following the water. They're gonna get long and long and long, and by the time you get to the bottom, it'll be time to harvest. Okay, I do have some things outside already that's doing well. So today I am about to put, I'm gonna put a watermelon in here. Now, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna put a watermelon in here, but when it get a certain height, I'm probably gonna change it out. But just to get it out of here so I can repurpose this for some more seeds, I'm gonna move some of the things in this, and also some cups. I'm gonna give you an example of that. Hubby bought me some cups, just some regular cups. I went and I put a cut here, 3 cups, and boom, you can put soil, and then you can plant whatever you want to plant in there. Now the difference when I do that is that I have to use actual soil, right? Dirt, soil, and things like that. But after it grows big enough in this, then you can put it in the ground if that's what you're going to do, or in a container. Okay, so some of these things are large enough to really go in here, but I don't have these prepared right now. It's early morning. I want to start sowing. I do have something in mind that I want to get sowing. So when I came down to the kitchen and straighten the kitchen up and get everything ready, I saw that, oh my God, I got to, these things got tall in a couple of days. Okay, I was like, they're starting to lean. That probably means that they need a little space. But what are these? When did I put these in? I didn't put these in that long ago. They just kind of under that grow light, they just brought it up. And when they start to lean, that's when I get worried, right? Because that means they're not being supported, the roots. And that is true. It's not in any soil to really support the roots right now. Okay, so I have to do the next step. That's what make you have to go from one thing to the next step to the next, right? Although you can start from a big cup, to me, if you start growing from seed, and you're wasting your time, as far as I'm concerned, having a whole cup of dirt just to put one seed in, to me. But it will last longer. You wouldn't have to go from this step to that step to this step. You see what I'm saying? So it's up to you how you do it, and I'm doing it the way I want to do it. But today, what I'm going to do, even though I know I'm not going to keep most of these things in here, I don't know if I have enough of these prepared. Hubby got to cut me some more. Let me go look. But the reason I'm doing it this way is because I don't have to go grab any soil from outdoors and bring it indoors. Okay? But this weekend, I'm going to go outside and I'll take care of some things. Actually, I can put these in the ground, but I would just have to make sure pests doesn't get to them, because they're still pretty young. And they're really tasty to, like I said, pests, birds. Birds are coming, just eat like they literally will. Now I think these might be a little too big for birds right now. Um, if you put a seed in the ground, it's look, nature is awesome. It's really like magic for real if you think about it. Like, how can a bird that's flying in the sky sense that I have a garden for it to come down and know exactly where I put that seed in the ground? Like, they will dig in your garden and eat your seeds. I'm not even joking. You don't see them when you don't notice when they come and eat a worm out the ground. How did they know? How did they see that worm in the ground? Well, they sense seeds, and you will plant your stuff in your garden, in the road with it, and you will go out there and you wonder why nothing's happening. In like a couple of weeks, right? You're like, nothing's happening. And you be like, something's wrong. Maybe the seeds were no good. No, the birds went and ate them up. So I had that problem back there. I put some that's what happened to bell peppers. Okay, I put some bell peppers. I sowed them directly into the ground because I was thinking that'll be the best way. You know why? It'll stay in the ground. When it's cold, they won't pop up. Okay, seeds also won't pop up if they're in the ground and it's cold. They'll just stay in the ground. As soon as it warms up, though, they'll pop up and start going towards the sun. That's magic too, right? That's like really magical when you think about that. And the thing is, though, the birds will go in that ground and eat that seed before it has a chance to do any of that. These are too small. Lots of things. The birds will eat these most definitely. Frogs will come and eat these most definitely. Yeah, bugs will go in and eat the roots of these. But when everything starts getting a little bigger, it's harder for certain things to eat certain things, right? So that's why you might buy a seedling. By the time they sell you a seedling in the store, it's going to be a little hardened off. And most likely you're going to buy them big enough, you know, so you don't have to worry about that. Except disease and stuff like that. You got to worry about that kind of stuff. I had a cabbage out there. The cabbage was growing so pretty. One day, I go out there to look, and it was just holes all through the cabbage. I'm not even sure what ate that damn cabbage. Maybe an aphis, right? Could have. I thought I checked. But maybe not. I really didn't worry about the cabbage that much. I was, I'll just do it out there. I thought it was going to be too warm for me to get cabbage grown. Okay, let me do what I'm about to do. I'm running my mouth too much. Because I want to get these things out of these napkins and things in here. And some of these things I need to get out of here into other things. Now, there's tricks that I have done where I've used, and I may do that now because I'm lazy, where I'll put a little of my witchcraft in here, and then I will put these in here. A couple of them. Just a part where when I'm ready to do what I need to do, the roots don't intertwine with each other. I've been really lazy, okay? I want to go sow. That's what I want to do. I don't want to do this, but I seems like I have to do this. So, remember I showed y'all these pellets? Well, what I do is I put them in here. They dry. They look like this. Wait, I have one that's open already. And that's what most of this is in. It's either in these or, like I said, or coffee grounds or tea grounds. That's what this comes looking like. And now this is one of those. So you put it in and the water absorbs it and it swells. And as you can see, this one here where it's swollen up. And now I don't really need that so much, but what I'm gonna do, I am gonna do it the way I said I was gonna do it because I'm lazy. Okay, and I'm gonna use this top, and we got this top. My son got this top yesterday. We went to what is it called? The hot breakfast, the big breakfast from McDonald's. With the McDonald's, and this is a lid to one of those, right? That's for my son, and See, my goal is just to get them out of here so I can put something else in here until later, this evening or early morning. Now, I really should be out in the garden this morning. That's the best time. And maybe I should. Let me see what the weather going to be like. I can't ask Siri because I'm on here. What's going on? 40. Okay. How should I do this, y'all? Okay, first let me see. This is a watermelon. I'm going. How many bottles do I have prepared right now? These little thin ones, I just put those in. I just put these in like a couple of days ago, and that is red cherry tomatoes. This though is an okra, so I think I had okra. So these are okras that I just put in 2 days ago. When I was here 2 days ago, I did a lot of things. Okay, so these little stringy ones, those are cherry tomatoes. But this is okra, and then I put some of my okra from that container, and I put them in here, and they're starting to pop up because they were in the dirt like this one. See it there? I popped them in, and they're doing their thing. Just 2 days, okay? This watermelon, so this row is watermelon, and this row is watermelon as well. How do I know? I could tell based on this one right here, this little leaf right here, when it shapes like a star. Let me show you. Or, I don't know, you see this leaf right here? That's how I know that's watermelon. I just need to do something with it, and I gotta figure it out real quick. Okay, because I want to go sew. I want to sew. I want to go upstairs and sew. I'm gonna pop. So I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do real quick. I am gonna put one in here, and I don't want to go. I do have dirt or soil, right? I do have soil. It's out in the backyard. I don't want to bring that in my house. Okay, it's not. It's soil for in-ground, okay? And so that's soil that's for in-ground, and soil that's not for in-ground. I'm gonna grab the ones that's tilted over. So how do you get those out of there? That's a couple of ways, okay? You could be very careful and gently pull on it, which I wouldn't recommend when it's standing over like this. But this, see how simple that is? Put my finger in there like that. Look at that. See that? Now, if I'm gonna use that in here, I have to be very careful. The roots will find their way where they need to go. Okay, they will find their way. I'm gonna put that in there. First, I'm gonna put a little salt, a little of this stuff in there at the bottom. Okay. And I'm gonna put you in there. I'm not sure if y'all can see me, what I'm doing. Okay, so I put a little salt, just a little bit of that core in there. And I'm gonna put you this in there. And then I'm gonna put this on top, all around it. The truth is, it should be getting nutrients right now, a little bit of nutrients. But I'm gonna have that in the water. And that's why you could grow hydroponically, okay? Because the nutrients you will put in the water. The truth is, you don't need soil to grow anything. And I do want you to know, watermelon do not stand straight up. So it's actually doing what it does, right? It trails. If you want this to go up something, you got to have a trellis. And other than that, it's going to just bush out on the ground. So it's doing what it's supposed to do. And so that's not a problem. And I could grow a full watermelon, believe it or not, in this container. Because remember, it trellises. It's going to start trellising where it want to go. And then once it's going to start putting out melons. And then what you would do, for those of you who wondering how can you grow what melons, you would put something under the melons. When you see them forming, you'll make sure that you support that portion. And so, you see what I've done? And then, what am I going to do next? Well, I have a couple of choices right now. I can put it in here. I got to make sure the bottom touches the water, which it does not. See that? At this early stage of me doing this, though, I do not have to. It doesn't need something like this right now, right? Because I'm lazy. I'm telling you, I'm lazy. I'm not even joking. Right now, I just want to go sow. Like I keep saying that. I know I keep saying it. Okay, but I'm gonna do the things the way I want to do it now. Get them out of here so I can continue doing what I need to do. Okay, there's another way you could take these out to sell. The only reason I knew I could do that, remember, this is not soil. So it's really grainy. It's not heavy. Okay? That's why I knew I could pull that. But there's another way to take it out the cells. That's why these things are great. Let me see what that is. Yeah, that's a watermelon. So, let me move this out the way. I hate doing this in my kitchen now, but I don't have too much of a choice because another area is where my grow lights are at. Okay? Is you find the cell that you want. The one I want is this one. I'm not sure if y'all can see. I want this one here. See that? That's the second cell in. Third one to. I could go underneath and push it up. You squeeze it. You squeeze it like that. And I'm not sure if y'all can see it's coming up. And then if that was soil, I would be able to get the whole thing out. Okay? I'm being careful. I don't want to tear any of my roots if I can. And bam. Okay? And what I'm going to do, put a little dirt in one of these things again. A little of that, and I'm going to lay that in there ever so gently. The one thing I definitely want to make sure is that those roots get covered. Don't want any sunlight hitting your roots. That's the one thing you definitely want to make sure, okay? You don't want your roots to dry out, and the sun will definitely dry them out, okay? And then bam. And I'm going to set that to the side for now. I'll show y'all what I'm going to do with them after, here is a smaller watermelon, and it's look like in this one is two in one cell, because I did do that when I wasn't sure if they're going to pop. Here's another one. I'm going to leave those in. I want the tall ones. I'm going to worry about the tall ones for now. Okay. The ones that's leaning. So I can use the tray. Put you back. I have a couple over here that I need to get on this side. Okay, this thing is separated into two in one thing. Okay. And so I have another one. I'm going to show y'all how I'm going to do that again. Just one more time, I guess. Put a little bit at the bottom. Not to be too bad. The roots will end up eventually doing whatever they want. They'll come out the sides, the bottom. There's a lot of space for them to go out. Once they start, moving around the way they want to, I can then make sure they find some water. But this is wet enough for now, okay? So I put a little bit in there, and we want this one that's bent over. I'm going to squeeze it up like that. This time I'm going to squeeze as much of it as I can get it out without breaking any roots. See, I left the root ball in place. Can y'all see that? In that one. And I'm going to just sit that in there like that. And I didn't really mess with that root ball at all. That stayed intact. That means the soil, the item that was around it is still there. I didn't touch it. Okay? And I just put that in there like that. Okay. I'll move that to the side. And we're going to get us another one. I'm going to put a little soil in. Grab some of this in there. Like that. And we're going to grab us another one. Squeeze it up. I'm going to try to keep the root ball in place this time as well. See, the root ball is in place. You see all the dirt still around it. Now, you don't have to grow in dirt, like I said, soil. You can have marbles. Did you know that? You can, anything that you need to hold and help prop up your plant. Some people use clay. Now, I wouldn't use marbles. I would just exaggerate when I said that. But people use clay because these clay balls, because the clay balls offers nutrients. You could kind of throw anything in there, though, anything that won't fight for nutrients from your plant. Okay? When they found that out, did you know that's saving lots of people around the world? When you find out you don't need soil. Like, there's some areas where the ground is always dry because it's so hot. Like in Africa, Arizona, places where they don't have much water. But if they can get water, and not where they have to go out and water it, like they could grow hydroponically. They keep the same water in the same area and it recycles. Aquaponics, hydroponics, a little drip, 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 drip that keeps flow through these pipes and your plant could be directly in the pipe. Man, that when I learned that, I was like, that is fantastic. My husband isn't the type that go out and use power drills and things like that. So if anybody does that, that will be me. And if anything go wrong, he gonna blame me, right? So I just said I'm gonna stick with the bottles. I'm gonna stick with soda bottles or something like that. Because if something go wrong, you best believe he gonna be like, I told he not gonna tell me he told me not to do it, because he don't tell me not to do it. He just look at me, and then something go wrong, baby. It's all on me. Oops. It's gonna be all on me, baby. That's how it works. So, because I am, and that's kind of good that I don't really, because I am the type I'm one of them type who like to try everything. I'll be like, oh, I could do that. Now, and then I may do half the job and leave, I'll be like, I can remodel the kitchen, tear down everything, and then go to remodel the kitchen. And as soon as I get one part of it done, I'll be like, okay, I'm done. And the whole kitchen will be just a mess. Never getting done. I am that type of person, okay? I know this about myself. This one has 3 and 1. So, and it's kind of dry, too. It came out so simple. See how dry that is? It's 3 and 1. Ooh, it smells so good. Wow, wait a minute. Okay. It smells good. This is watermelon. I smell, because I was getting worried. I thought this was the, that's what this is. Cucumbers. Okay. I smell cucumbers. Look how dry that is. It's a good thing I grabbed that. It's dry. I'm gonna separate these. It's the weirdest thing what people do. They'll say, oh, put a couple of seeds in there, 2, 3. And then they'll say, okay, once it start growing, choose the healthiest one and clip the other. And I'm like, what? Like, why can't you just separate them? Now, if it's almost impossible to separate, then yes, you won't. But usually, you catch it early enough, like what they be saying. Now, if you grow it directly in the ground, I guess I see the point. I still would dig that one up and just remove it. Put it somewhere else. Especially if all I'm growing healthy, I'm supposed to murder the others or something. And you mean, I'm like, wow, y'all people crazy. Okay? It's like people starting to make these rules that never work. I never saw my dad go outside and just start, you know what I mean? Like he didn't go outside and just start chopping away some other plants, talking about, oh, this one look the healthiest. And put them in a row, just log separate enough from each other to where, let me put that in there. This is the largest one based on the roots. This will be the healthiest one too. I'm like, people are very, like, not only are we being wasteful with clothes and things, just to throw it away because you don't wear it no more, just because you wore it once or twice. We are being real reckless with nature. We're being with food. If you, like, what are you doing? What do you mean cut it off? Because they're going to fight for resources. I'm like, you give it enough resources for all of them. Okay. Save the plants, baby. Save the trees. Save the plants, okay? Those roots are pretty far up. This is not a good idea with this one. Okay? I'm gonna have to I think I'm gonna put this one in a cup. Because I could I'm not sure if y'all can see, but right here, there's roots. Roots started to grow, because that's what they do. They'll grow outwards when they need to, if they want to. And so let me see. I'm gonna put that in here. Well, maybe if I put it directly in there. Yeah, that gave me some space. Remember, I had some at the bottom. Maybe I put, no, that's better. I'm trying to save time for now. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do. And I have two others that I need to do. Right, these two. If to be honest, I don't have the space, and I don't in my yard, and I'm gonna walk around the neighborhood, and I think I'm gonna plant them in ground in the neighborhood in the common space. I will take care of them. I'll go out there and water them when they need to be watered, and then but if anybody in the neighborhood want to see that they want some tomatoes that's growing there, I'm not gonna be mad that they took some tomatoes, but I will be mad if they come in my yard. Taking some people come and ask, okay, ooh, I see you got a garden. They love to talk to me, baby. They start talking, and then they want to know, like, I do have some good neighbors, so I don't, they welcome to. I told them they welcome, so but the other ones who just see that I got a garden and they want to come and talk, and then they want to, I sure would like some of that. Oh, really? Because I can send you some YouTube videos. Okay, I'm so nice. Look, some of the neighbors, the direct neighbors, the ones who like really, really, what I mean, like, I don't mind, right? Because I don't think they'll be greedy and go out there and see my one watermelon and chop it down and take it for themselves, But I do think they would have some people who think they could come and shop in my garden. Now, I wouldn't mind people coming through the garden, but they would have to put something in, you know what I mean? Like, buy the dirt if I need some nutrients. Buy the seeds, shit, and I'll do the work. But see, that causes problems too, because, soon as somebody say, well, I bought a bag of dirt, and then they'll think that the whole tree belongs to them, though. All the tomatoes on the plant belong to them, just because they bought some dirt. So that will create a whole nother problem for those type of people. There are people like that. What I get for my bag of dirt, your bag of dirt costs $2.50, and you think, and you ain't putting no water in, you ain't out here taking care of these, and you think this whole plant belong. You came and grabbed all the tomatoes. You're not gonna even grab just a couple and let some more grow and come and get a couple more when you need. You want to grab you want to come and pick all the ones on that you see, huh? And not even just on that one. But they're going to walk around my yard picking up all the tomatoes. And if they see anything on that one bag of dirt, apparently was all they had to give, so they could just grab all my shit in my yard. So no, I ain't doing that one. Okay, but I will, there's a lot of seeds that come in a pack. And until I won't know, like I'm still a beginner gardener as far as growing from seed this way. And I'm not sure what everything produces. Like for my first time growing red cherry tomatoes is this year. So I'm not sure, on the optics. I'm not sure how many tomatoes gonna pop up. I'm not sure, like, so I don't know, if all I need is 3 plants a year to get what I want, or maybe I need 10. I don't know yet. So I learned this year because I grew a whole lot of stuff. So I got those out the way, and I look like I have a couple of more. Yeah, this one is tall as hell too, and so is that one, and that one. This is an okra plant, and that is tall. That's getting leggy. I'm gonna have to take that one out too. So let me show you. This is an okra plant. See how tall it is? That's an okra plant right there. Yeah, that's okra, and it's leggy. Oh, so by the way, okra do stand leggy. Like it don't bush out. It grows. It has this long stem, and from that stem, other stems, and then they start fruiting. So that's not abnormal. It's just too tall for what is in, which tells me that the roots are probably long like the one here. I'm gonna put that okra in the ground either today or tomorrow, but I'm gonna take it out of here right now. But I need to make sure I know what everything is. I know there. So let me do the watermelon first. So I see a couple of more. Let me show you. So I'm gonna get this, and it looks like it's 3 of them in there. See, 1, 2, and 3. So that means I know that I like when I took them, I didn't have enough space. I was like, okay, let me just put a couple in there. This one is pretty nice size. That's just one, and I think that's enough. I might take these out, but these I'm not. I think it's watermelon. I can smell it. Let me see. Let me smell it. Let me see. No, I don't smell it. There's different type of watermelon. I'm growing sugar babies, and no. I meant this is did I say watermelon? I meant cucumber. But I can generally smell the cucumber. But at this height, I'm not sure. I have to go through my book. I did write it down, okay? I wrote down what everything was. That's how I know. The things that I don't know is written down in a book by Rose. Okay. So I want to get this watermelon done. Let me hurry up and get this. They look like 3 in one cell. They look dry too, and I'm not sure why it's dry, because it's wet underneath. I think, oh, and the only ones that were dry wasn't the ones when it's more than one, which is an example of, the resources being dripped up. But they sharing, okay? Let me turn it up, right? Let me get that. What I'm doing is I'm just carefully taking the whatever off so I can untangle it, okay? And then I'll gently pull. And if I find that it's very hard to pull, that I would affect both of them, then I would just, give one away. Kind of let just one die or whatever. Because I don't want to lose both of them for over no craziness, right? Okay, I need to get a couple more of those things swollen up so I can use them. Hubby don't have any, I don't see any coffee grounds nearby, or tea grounds, so that tells me he either not saving them for me anymore, or he hasn't been making any. Okay. Listen, y'all can grow things in your home. You don't even have to have an area outside. You just need to have a windowsill. Now, you can't grow everything in your home, right? You can't grow watermelon in your home. Why? I mean, no. Yeah. You can't grow watermelon in your home. It's because it's big, right? It's going to run all over the place. And, yeah. But what I'm saying, though, there's a quite a few things you can grow in your home. So I had a container of where I put seeds in, and then the seeds didn't do anything. See, they didn't do anything. So that's the reason why I don't like. That's why I do my seeds the way I do. I want to make sure that they're gonna work before I put too much hard work in them. Okay. And this is the easiest way to guarantee. The guarantee is that they may fail in the beginning stage, but you'll be able to not have to go through 5 stages trying to see. Now, see, I was able to grab that whole full plug, which means I don't need any dirt in the beginning. I'm going to put just a little bit, tiny little bit down there, just because it's wet. And I'm going to sit that in there, get that to crumble around, because they're so dry. And then I'll put you on top. And I definitely have to water these, because that is dry. Just some dampness in there, like that. Now, people also do they use this term called hardening off, right? And what they mean by that is if you're growing indoors under a grow light, that the grow light is represents like sunlight, right? But it's way less intense. So they're saying that if you take it from a grow light and put it outdoors, that you should slowly start putting them outdoors. And I can see why that makes sense, right? That makes sense. Um, except for how they want you to do it, man. Listen, when they're really young, I don't think you have to worry about all of that, depending on just how old they are. And I've already proven that because I've been putting things out there, and I keep an eye and I keep watching and looking, and they're doing fine. Now, if you wait until it's bushy and bigger and you try to do that may cause a problem. But I thought so. Photosynthesis, I thought the plants grab what they need, right? And the way people are making it seem like the sunlight gonna burn the flowers. And I'm thinking, I don't know if that's true. Okay? And from what I've done, I don't see that that's true. But that's what they say. And people start saying it, you know what I mean? Because they learning. That's how you find out who learning from who. When we repeat the same things other people have said. And then, but when it's not true. The real gardeners aren't saying no shit like that. But the ones who learn gardening online, they are saying those things. And that's because they learned it online, right? They learned it from some people who learned some shit from somebody or anybody. And I'm not saying that they're wrong, but I don't think that is true. And that's just based on my experience. Okay? It's based on my experience. That I don't see no plants saying, oh, this is too much sun. Oh no. Too much sun. Please help me. Oh Jesus, I'm burning. I'm getting sunburned. Nah, like I said, nature is like magic. Okay? Nature is like magic. There's other things that hurt that flower besides that goddamn sun out there. Okay? Okay, y'all. So we got that. This one, this one seemed like something was wrong with it. I'm not sure exactly, but we're going to see if it survives. If not, I re-put it back into the earth, okay? And this and this is the same thing. I think there's cucumbers, but I'm not sure. And I also think these are my cucumbers as well. They're small because I just put them in like in the last 3 weeks. Not even that long. Yeah, about 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago is when I put those in. Um, let me see. This is a cupid. They're cupids, y'all. That's what they call them, okay? Oh, I have another one I forgot about. Look at there. Okay, we ain't gonna forget about you, little man. We ain't gonna forget about you. I got you, baby. I got you. Okay, I got you. I'm gonna sing to you in a minute. We're gonna sing some Rihanna, Chris Brown, some Taylor Swift. What's the little young man name is? The one who said, baby, 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 oh, baby, 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 oh, I'll be tonight. I wanna you. We're not gonna sing no R. Kelly, even though I love me some R. Kelly, but we trying to get you to we're not trying to get you to reproduce right now, okay? We're not trying to get you to reproduce, okay? They got enough of you. They got enough of you, okay? Are those watermelon seeds? Yes, they are. Okay. I wanna be with you. My notebook is upstairs, so I can tell you what everything is, but I know what I planted in here. I just don't. I know I have cucumbers, watermelon, okra, tomatoes. My potatoes are outside. I probably got to heal those up. I have some basil outside. I have some onions, and I have some my bell peppers that got eaten up by the birds. And I know I'm missing some things. Beefy tomatoes, cherry tomatoes. I won't know which ones are which until they start growing, because even though I know these are the red cherry tomatoes, I have some Roma tomatoes too, but I ended up losing a little stick to them, and so they outside. And I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try a couple of watermelons in hydroponically, like in a bottle like this. So this is the watermelon that I put in there, and remember I told y'all it's not in the water yet. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to have to put some more water in that, which I'm gonna do now. Don't need a lot. And I'm gonna put it in by putting it through here like this. Oh, y'all can't see. I'm just pouring it in slowly like this. At the top like that. And the bottom just barely touching. You see that? And that's all you need. You just need the bottom to be in, barely touching, because the soil will sap up what it needs. The roots, first of all, we already know the roots in this is really nice, right? So what's going to happen, the growth of the roots will find their way out and into the water. And then what'll happen is the roots will grow. And I have an example of that. I could go grab it. I don't have one to close, so I'm gonna run out there, butt naked, okay, butt naked, right there in front of my house. I'm gonna hurry up and grab it, and I'm gonna come and put it right here and show you the example. Hold up. I'll be right back. It only gonna take me, I gotta get this dirt off my hands before I open my door, because you know I won't put no dirt on my door. Hold up. Let me go out here. went out there because I see a problem. I'm going to fix this problem first. Okay. I'm going to show you what the problem is. So I just put this one outside. It was indoors. Don't fall in there. This is an okra plant. I could tell, right? See, now I'm not using the same K cup. Let me take you over here. This is one of those cups that they sell in the store. See that? It's like paper. It's like cardboard. See it? Now look what happened. And the reason I did this because this one had a root on it. And I was thinking, okay, how can I made this hole too big for the K cup. So I was like, oh, this will fit. And see, inside of it, there's a hole. So there was some soil in here, but not soil. It was some of the same stuff that you see me using. But it wasn't that much. But you see, it fell out through the hole. You see that? It's not much in there. So I need to fix that really quickly. I'm going to do that now. But it doesn't need it. Okay? Do it need it? It's not necessary. It's not necessary. What's necessary is those roots have water. And the roots, I'm going to show it to you in a few minutes. Now, the only reason, but you can drown a plant, by the way. That's why you need something to hold that kind of in place. You don't want the roots drowning the plant. Okay? You don't want your roots to be in the sun, direct sunlight like that too much. And you don't want your roots to be underneath water. Now, I'm going to show you why I kept the label on when I show you the next one. Okay? I'm doing a test. So, I kept the label on this one. But you can see roots. Okay? You can see roots. This only been outside for like a week. Now, I'm going to show you something. This one, the only reason this one didn't drown, let me pick you up off here. So you can drown plants because plants need oxygen also. And if it's all underwater, then it can't get oxygen. So the roots, they're called roots, form these oxygen, what they call air roots. I think that's what they call it, air roots. Now, don't quote me on that, right? Because I didn't go to school for this. This is going to be some YouTube education as well, okay? So, but it's from somebody who did go to school. So it wasn't just like anybody, right? I was listening to an actual professor who started the hydroponics kind of thing. And so this is hydroponics. Why? Because I'm growing in water. I'm not growing in this medium. This is just called a medium. It's just helping to keep the plant upright and things like that. It's not going to get its nutrients from this. It's getting its nutrients. The nutrients is absorbed through the actual roots. And as y'all can see, the roots is in the water. Okay? Now, what happened, I'm not sure how long it fell in, but it couldn't have been that long ago. Like I said, I only put this out like a week ago. But you see what formed right there? See that's a root. And that's an air root. That formed because it needed oxygen. So it popped out something so it could get oxygen. Because all the roots, you saw the hole where nothing was holding it up. All the roots were in there. And they would have drowned. But this plant that's called magic, baby. Magic. Nature is magic. It was like, I can't breathe. And it said, pop, let me be able to breathe. And it popped that out. So although I could put that in the dirt, it just cannot go in the water. You don't want that underneath the water, or this plant will, if it doesn't do that again, it will drown. Okay? I'm going to show you air roots on another one. But I showed you this one because, only reason I brought this in because I saw that it was in distress. Okay? So I am going to cover up that air root with a little, whatever my medium is, which I already told y'all. It's this core pellets, or it's a mixture of different things. Core pellets, tea, crushed leaves, and coffee grounds. I'm cheap, okay? So I'm going to cover that air root up. It doesn't need to be out in the sun. and it still can breathe in the dirt. It just cannot be underwater. Okay. Now the reason that the soil was in there, but because of that hole is so big, the soil kind of just fell at the bottom down there. See that? So I did have it in there right. I just, anyway, let me gently go bring this back over here. And by the way, that was under the sunlight, under my grow light for, it started just like all of these. It started in a bag, whether it was in a bag or one of those, my little things on a cotton ball. And then it went from there to this. It went from my cotton ball to this. And then it went from this to wanting to put it in one of these. But because that hole was too big to fit one of these, I found that instead. Okay. And my point is, it went from under the grow light just earlier, well, last week, it was last week to directly going outside. And it looks good. Not only does it look good, but it ended up creating its own air route. Okay, so it could breathe. Now, here's another one. And this I just put out this week. And y'all, this is amazing. So first of all, there's a couple of things that happened this week. We was having storms. Lots of rain, lots of rain, lots of rain. I had this earlier this week on Monday. I put this outside. It went from grow light directly to sunlight. And it looks good. Healthy. And guess what? These are the same, this is the same age of these. The ones you just saw me, the same age. As soon as it got real sunlight, it got bigger and healthier. See the stem now, that stem looks good. So I may, the grow light is not pumping up, it's pumping up enough to, grow things, but it really needs the sunlight. And I didn't harden this all, but like I said, these are young. They were young. I put them directly, and so it's doing well. So that hardening thing, and let me tell you, the way they tell you to do it is kind of ridiculous too, right? They act like, because they're saying put it out in the sun, but just put it out there for the first time, maybe for 15 minutes, and then bring it back in. The next day, put it out for like a half an hour and bring it back in. And then the next day, put it out for like a half hour, and then so on for like a couple of weeks or a minimum week. That don't make sense. Like logically, they're based on what they're saying, the beam of sunlight, they're saying that the beam of the sunlight isn't the sun. They're making it seem like, well, if it's out there for 15 minutes, it'll be okay, bring it back in. But isn't the sunlight is still as strong as it would be? If it's strong enough to burn, it's going to burn in 15 minutes. Just because you keep it out there all day, the only thing that's going to happen in that case is that it will dry out, right? The longer it's in the sun. But if the sun is so sensitive to if the plant is so sensitive to the sunlight at that strong level, it's going to hurt and harm the plant directly. If it's out there for 15 minutes or 15 hours. Because the sunlight is strong. It's not like, it just don't make sense. And so it's logically make no sense. That's all I'm saying. Unless they're saying that the plant gonna get sunburned. And even in what they mean, they talk about our skin, how we're not prone to really take too much sun. But plants are meant to be out in the sun. It's abnormal for it to be in the house in a grow light. So if anything is abnormal and that's going to harm the plants, it's the grow lights. It will not be the sunlight. Okay? And that's what I'm saying. Now, you can see that. So look, I just put this in. I'm not even joking. Like Monday. Remember I was saying that I put these things in on Monday? Well, that's because I took these out on Monday. There's a few things I took out on Monday, and then I put those in. And this is the same. It was small like this. It was exactly like this on Monday, like just like 4 days ago. And it got its sunlight, and it was like, yeah, that's what we talk about. And it spread its wings, and it looks good. Okay. There, it looks like no damage. In fact, it looks very good. Okay. I made sure that I'm not sure if this is just water, but I think I did put a little fertilizer in it. Okay, I did put a little fertilizer in it, a little bit. It doesn't really, per what the YouTube gardeners say, you don't need fertilizer right away. Now, when I go to the regular gardeners, the ones who garden in their yard and they've really been doing it for years, they recommend fertilizer, like the ground should be fertilized and things like that. You know what I mean? So it depends on who you listen to. But this is going to be a beautiful watermelon. And yeah, I'm gonna put this in the ground because it looks like it can handle it. Okay, but the roots is what I want y'all to see, because the roots wasn't all like this just a couple of days ago, right? Y'all see how I'm putting the roots in? It had roots, yes it did, but just the way I put those in, where the roots, I'm saying the roots gonna find their way to the water. It's gonna come out how it wants to come out. And look how long it is. Now you can't really see how long it is because the label is in the way, but I'm keeping the label on, and I'm about to show you why. Okay, I'm gonna see if it's gonna make a big difference. So the next one, I'm gonna show you exactly why. Okay. Woo. Okay, now, honestly, like I said this last week to people, I said when I look at this, you can see all the roots in there, right? See all the roots? I see. This is a basil that I've grown from the beginning. Once it was really little when I put it in here. Now there's some things I need to change. Like for instance, actually the soil's not that bad. It just looked like that at the top because of what it is, but it's dry. But it doesn't matter that the top is dry. The top is dry, and that really doesn't matter. Now I see a little issue, and it's probably I'm not sure. It was bushier. It looked like it was greener, but it's still growing. It's growing new growth. It's been outdoors for a very long time. It does not look bad, so I'm gonna do some investigating, make sure I don't have any bugs or anything on it, and we're gonna take a look. And that's one of the reasons why when you grow hydroponically, you may not want to use soil. Now this is soil that's in here, okay? This is soil instead of, and you could tell, look how hard, and it's like, this is what I'm using. See, it's different color and everything. So this is soil. So I think where I can't. Now let me tell you, that's the bad thing, right? There's some negatives to this as far as I'm concerned on my end. I don't want to disturb the roots too much. I could take this out of here. Yes, I can, right? I could take that out. See? And look at that. Look at that. And it's a lot, y'all. It's all the way to the bottom. Okay? Now, remember those air roots I was telling y'all about? See those right there? Pushing out right there? Those are air roots. Those are the things, because it needs to breathe. Okay? So, when I put water in here, which I am going to, because I'm going to grow this fully. I'm going to grow this full basil plant in this container. And you can grow basil in your house, on your windowsill. Don't use soil, please. I would recommend anything you grow in your house on your windowsill, do grow it hydroponically. That way you ain't got to worry about no bugs, no soil, or anything like that. I can literally take this soil out of here, which I'm thinking I'm doing. Yeah, because you saw the other two still look wet, even though it wasn't wet, right? And the reason why it wasn't wet is because I didn't wet it. The plant does not need anything from the soil because the soil isn't giving it anything. Everything is being done in the water. Okay. Now, remember I mentioned the label. I mentioned the label because I was like, oh, when I noticed it outside, it looks fine. It looks fine, right? It looks fine. But if I put it against another one, you can obviously see that it's a difference. Look, this is drooping. I gotta water that in, and I'm gonna put that out. Put that under. Anyway, can you see the difference? This has algae in it, and if you look at the bottom, you can see the algae. What creates algae? Well, sunlight. The sunlight beaming directly on the water, with a few other things. I'm not sure exactly what. So I'm not gonna. Don't quote me on that. But if you block out the sunlight, if the color of the water and things bother you, then keep the label on, or spray paint it dark and things like that. Now, if you spray paint it dark, you won't know it have algae in it or not. Does the algae affect the plant? It does not. Yeah, it doesn't at all. But if you see this water and now close together, you see that this water is green in color. And so I kept the label on to see if that changes it. But this has been outside for a couple of months. Most definitely a couple of months. So this isn't bad for a couple of months. Okay. And this is basil. Basil will constantly grow if I pinch off some of it. Right? If I pinch them off, they'll grow and bush out. You see right here, they got some new growth coming in right here and up here. You see that? So I do see some greenery. Oh, that might be. Let me put some, I'm going to put a little fertilizer in it. So that's what I'm going to do. Hold up. So I have fertilizer, and it's a liquid fertilizer that I purchased. And so you mix it with water, a gallon of water per squirt, which means that fertilizer is going to last me a long time. Okay. And I'm going to just put it in because I do want to bring that water level up. Do I have to bring the water level up? No. The roots will reach and go all the way down. But this is a basil. It constantly grows. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, you're not going to be able to see me actually do it. I don't have it's not back enough. Let me see. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it up. I don't want to put, yeah, well, I will. Let me make a change. Let me get the tripod a little bit here. Do I need to put it on legs? I don't think so. I think I can pull you up high enough. Aim you a little differently, maybe. The problem is with this tripod is the thing that holds the phone. When my phone is in a certain horizontally, yeah. When it's horizontally. Look, I'm trying to pronounce it right. Okay, don't quote me. Anyway, yeah, that should work. That'll be better. Because I want you to see what I'm about to do. Okay? Cool. I just don't want the phone to fall off. If I was able to put it the other direction, it would be better. See? So it's nice and tall and everything. And so I'm going to put water in, and I do want it to touch the very bottom. Since they have air roots on the side, which we're going to see now, right? Lots of air roots. See? On the side. Look at that. Look how long them roots is. They actually, it's more and more and more. So the thing is, when you grow in a bottle like I am, you have to think ahead of time. Because some plants will bush out, and you might not be able to lift the cup up. So you might want to have a hole so you can water it when you need to water it. Okay? Does that make sense? But this basil, even though it will bush out, it's still not going to get too bushy where I can't grab that cup and water it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift that up. Okay, and we're going to see how much I put in. I could go a little more, but it is barely touching the bottom. I think it's good. I think that's good, okay? Now, I'm gonna take a look at this in a week and see if it perks up. I'm not even sure if you could tell I watered it, but it was like maybe a few weeks back. So that means it has no nutrients. It was just water. You start off, you don't really need a lot of nutrients. So it had no nutrients, and I just gave it nutrients. And hopefully it'll perk back up and brighten up for me. Okay? And I do want to get that. I'm thinking about getting that soil out of there. But if you do it, it's going to go back outdoors. So that's why I don't mind the soil being there. But indoors, you don't have to use soil. Do not use soil. You don't want to worry about ants and nothing. Do not bring soil in your house. That's why you see me working with, like, I know these things are falling on my counter, right? Y'all see the dirt, but that's not dirt. That's actual tea leaves. That came out of the tea bags, the coffee grounds, and that core, the core. What is it called? Coconut core. All edible things. I know it's dirty, but it's not dirt. It's not soil. It's not, things that can have certain, I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, but this is soil, okay? What's up, Slash Shy? How you doing? You doing good? That's good. Anyway, I hope that's helping everybody. I want you, like, everybody should grow something. You could grow in your windowsill. I don't have a windowsill in my kitchen. I don't have a windowsill in my kitchen. Yeah, I don't have a window in my kitchen. So, but I do have a dining room area with a big oops, sorry about the cuss, with a big window, right? Big window. But I also have outside, and you could grow in your bedroom window, a bedroom window, living room window, anything with a windowsill that gets sunlight. You could grow certain things. So, listen, as long as it don't grow bushy, you could grow green beans and things like that. There's a bush variety, and then there's a variety that doesn't bush. There's the ones that trellis, right? You need a trellis for. But a trellis just means that you train it to go up the walls or whatever. You could grow in your house. Now, I'm not suggesting that you grow cucumbers and things like that in your house. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. But grow whatever it is that you eat. If you have a little spot outside in a container, you don't need to have a yard where you could go out there and have to have all these rows. You could buy a big planter that you would grow a plant in, and you could grow food in it. And that's what I'm want to show. Right? I'm not the gardener that's gonna be having all these rows and I'm trying to do it on a budget because I ain't got no choice. I don't have no choice but to do it on a budget. It's not like I didn't opt to do it on a budget. It's like I'm kind of forced to do it on a budget, and yeah, I gotta water that in, and then I am gonna sit these outside. This one definitely going outside, okay, because it has what it needs. And I want to see what it's going to do. And I guess I'll show y'all what it looks like later. I am going to give it a little bit of boost of fertilizer too. Okay. That's why I didn't go all the way to the actual bottom. Remember I said just need to have a little bit. The plant will sap up what it needs, y'all. And that's why I don't have to be all the way underwater. The plant, that happens in the ground. That's why it doesn't have to rain every day, and you don't have to water your plants every day. You could get away with a couple of days, basically, depending on how you water your plants, how deeply rooted you water your plants, and the way the ground is created, it stores water in a lot of areas. And you could create those ways that the ground would soak up and save water for your plants as well. Now, when I get some money, when I become rich one day, which I think I'm gonna win the lottery, maybe next in 2026, even though I never played the lottery. I think I played the lottery once or twice ever in my life, but I'm gonna win it anyway. I got just as much chance as anybody else. Look, I don't even play, and my chances are just as evenly as yours. Those of you who play. But anyway, I'm gonna win the lottery, and then I'm gonna get a little different thing where I'm gonna do a drip, 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 drip. I see people doing drips, but you know, in those countries where they don't have, even though I'm broke, they have less than I do. And these people are growing their food. We have no excuse here in America. We have access to seeds and everything. I watched a young man, and they teaching us, right? I'm looking at them on YouTube in awe, and I'm taking their notes. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have the money to fake their gardens. They like really doing it. And I watch where they don't have access to water like we do, right? Shit, I shouldn't have access to water like I do. My water bill be high. Okay? My water bill be high. I was thinking about after everybody take a bath, that we go, instead of letting the water out the tub, I'm going to go scoop that shit out with a big bucket, and I'm going to put it out in the yard and water my plants. Now, I am exaggerating a little bit, but kind of that's what a lot of people do, yo, in other countries. They don't have water to waste like we do. They don't get to sit in tubs of water. Like I have one son, he gets in the tub with all this hot water and sitting there. And as soon as it cools down, he turns it on and make it hot again and uses all the hot water. Now, I did teach him that because I do that as well. Okay, I place the blame on him. But really, I do that, and then he got it from me. Okay, so just honest as some truth. But see how wasteful we are, where people don't even have water in certain areas to grow food. And then he found out about hydroponics, where that's what this is. I don't have, you saw that little water that I put in there? I'm not going to have to put water in here for weeks, if, you know what I mean, like weeks. And even when I do put water in it, I'm going to put a little bit. The beginning portion of the water, that's the most, right? That's the most water you're going to use when you're starting out. And then you don't have to worry about going outside watering plants. Because when you go out, it's going to be weeks. And you put a little bit in just to keep it. But the truth is, you won't even have to grow. You could grow fully from beginning to end without watering. And I might do a sample like that, where I show y'all that I start one off, put it at the level I want it, and see, and let the water just let it go all the way and see where the plant is. But the reason I know that to be true, because somebody did those tests already online. Okay, I can't think of his name, but he showed growing in wine bottles, soda bottles, jars, and when I saw him do that, I was like, yeah, what? I was like, I drank soda, which I shouldn't, but I do. I was like, if I could grow in soda bottles, my soda bottles, instead of throwing them away, I could reuse them and grow food in them. What? And that's what I'm doing. Shout out to him. I don't know his name. I may put it on, I'll put it under the video, or put it on my community wall if I can remember. If I can remember to do it. Okay? But and this man tested it, like he showed you every moment. There's no faking it. What I mean by that, he have cameras set up, and he's showing you him growing from beginning all the way through. You could watch it. It's on time lapse, and you can see the days change. You can see everything, and you can see the plant just sprouting out. Man, I was like, wow. Now, I'm going to be honest. He had, of course he got money to do all that, right? I ain't got that money. I ain't got no money to set up no cameras that going to run all the time and catch no plants growing. I think that's cool, though. And so I was like, okay, if I could show people how to grow in one of your soda bottles, your wine bottle, grab you some seeds. I'll send you some seeds for free. There ain't gonna be no specialty seeds. Like if you can't go to the Dollar Tree, because that's where I got most of my seeds from. You can't go to the Dollar Tree and get you no seeds, 4 packs for $1.25. Then I'll send you a pack of seeds. Okay? Because I know there's some people who can't afford it, I guess. You can't afford $1.25 to feed your family. I'll send you a pack of seeds. And then this year, I'm not, well, I'm not sure, but one of these years coming soon. I'm not sure if it's going to be this year. Because like I said, I'm behind on the gardening because of the weather. But I'm going to then see how to not have to buy seeds anymore. Like after, first of all, you could go to the library. Do I see something on that plant? I think I do. Let me see. That's the thing about growing outdoors. Y'all see it? Wait. I'm trying to get it to focus. Oh, yeah, you see it? And not only that, but I see a cobweb, which is a sign of these little, I think they call them mites. That might be why it's not green. So, oh, yeah. Look, I see. It's hard to see them sometimes, but you know what is the dead giveaway is the cobweb. So, it's not that bad. And that's the chance you take when you grow outdoors. But that's okay. That's natural. That's natural. It's not abnormal. You won't have those problems indoors. And that's why it's good to grow if you're going to grow indoors. Now, it won't kill the plant or anything, but I see one. I see them. I noticed it. Okay, I'm going to point to it for you. Let me see where. Wait, am I too close? You can't see my finger? You see it right there? And it's a few of them. Remember I was saying it's one there? And the dead giveaway was the cobweb that I saw. Now, that's why the plant isn't as green as it was. It was really green. I see one. Did I point to that one already? And I think I see some down there too. Okay, but that's okay. See, and I see the cobweb blowing. You see it? It's blowing. Now, I'm not sure exactly where. I see it through the phone lens. But it's so, let me see where it's at. Now, when I'm not zoomed in, you can't see it. But when I go in, you can see it. It's blowing. Where is it? It's right there. See it? That's a sign of mites. I think they call them mites. And what they do is they get there and they eat, right? They will turn. Yeah, this thing will be yellow in no time, which I do see. Remember I said it was real green at one time. So I gave it some fertilizer now, but that's not what I need to do. Now, I'm about to tell you how to make sure things like these things don't get on your plants naturally, and it's so simple. Listen, I don't know why people have taken perfectly good recipes and then switched it up. And now it's ridiculous. It's like a ridiculous recipe. You know how I say my plants, I put cayenne pepper on them, right? Like when they outdoors, I put cayenne pepper on them. Nothing likes cayenne pepper, baby. That's hot. Nothing, no bugs. It's not going to bother. The birds not going to bother it. None of that. Cayenne pepper. You don't have to mix cayenne pepper and cinnamon. Like, what the hell? That don't even make no sense on no plant. Now, I use cinnamon as well, but not with the cayenne pepper. Actually, you don't even need to use cinnamon. I don't even know what they're thinking about with the cinnamon. That's going to, you know what I mean? Like, so I told people this years ago. That's my dad. My dad used to put little things on the seedlings so they could pop up and keep the birds, keep things away. There's other things you could put around to keep the snails away. But then some of these things are harmful to certain plants but good to other plants. So you put eggshells out and you'll keep snails away, right? Slugs away, should I say. We got people mixing. I saw somebody mix the cinnamon with with the hot pepper. What they call it again? The the um the pepper. You know what I'm talking about. Hot pepper. What? God damn it. I'm looking at, look, the reason I'm looking over here at all my things, and I got my mind running blank, right? As soon as I start talking about that, I start looking over here at my I drew a blank real quick. But yeah, you don't need to so I'm watching people. I'm like, I got the great natural recipe, and I'm like, why are you mixing all that? You just need one of those. You don't need both of those. Yes. Don't use anything out the store, chemicals, okay? Unless you have to. How do you kill ants? Well, first of all, if you have an ant bed, you look for one ant bed. You're going to find another ant bed somewhere around. And the natural way of killing ants, y'all, I know it sounds weird, but it's guaranteed. You take ants out of this pile, hurry up with a shovel, grab some, and hurry up and dump them in the other pile. And do the reverse from the other way. Bam. And, oh, it is the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. I forgot. Hubby may have wanted to go fishing, but he didn't mention it. First of all, we live in Delaware, but they got a lot of Delaware beaches. And so traffic is going to be really heavy. That might be why he didn't mention it. We would have made plans early on. Probably went there last night if we was going. We could fish right here in our pond in our neighborhood if we want, I guess. But anyway, what I was saying. So yes, take ants out of one pile, put it in another pile, then take a little bit of ants out of that pile, put it in the other pile. Y'all know what I'm saying? I know that sound. I hope I didn't confuse you. Transport them in a shower. Just hurry up and grab, dig in, bam, and put them. And what happened is, you go out there 2 days later, all the ants will be dead. Now, why would all the ants be dead? Well, they will have an ant war, and they're going to kill each other. They will be dead, okay? And the ones who survive will pick up and move to another location. I had never seen no trail of them packing their bags and moving, but I just said that because it's funny as hell, right? But that's how I get rid of my ants. But I'm not in the South anymore, so red ants. My dad and them used to pour. I don't think they pour gasoline. I remember my uncle used to pour tar down the hole in the ant pile. You know, they ain't surviving that. That black tar, hot black tar. And I think my dad used diesel on ant piles. Diesel. Pour that. I'm not sure though. I know why he used to put diesel around our entire yard, the perimeter around our yard. And I wasn't sure if it was for the snakes or what it was for. And when I called my cousin, he told me the diesel was probably to kill the grass. But I was like, nah. He put it a perimeter around the house. Even though I'm quite sure diesel does kill grass. Right? There was a few other things he mentioned, but I think like it's bad to the environment. I live in an area where we do have different things in our backyard, deer and stuff like that. I don't want to kill no animals due to trying to keep them away, but I do want to keep them away. And I definitely want to keep snakes away because I hate them. Okay? I know snakes. I know their habitat. I know what they do. And I don't like it. I'm scared. Okay? Snakes will come and get in bed with you in the cold. And I live in a cold area. Yeah. I don't trust no snakes. I don't play with them. I'm scared of them. I'm going to keep it real with you. Okay? Ever since I was a kid, hearing snakes get in bed, snakes have been in bed with kids. They'll get in bed with kids. They won't even kill a kid. They'll wrap around a kid and keep warm. Why would they get in the bed with the baby? Because the baby in the crib. And I'm assuming people must be not watching their motherfucking kid. I'm like, how long that snake was in that bed with your kid? I saw a video on YouTube where the lady was sitting on her, like, it looked like a hamp. What they call those things? It wasn't one that's in the tree, though. It was one in a house. Right? And while I guess her camera's going and she's laying in this thing, and this looked like a cobra or something, or black mamba. I just know it looked big and black. Okay, a water moccasin. It looked like a big snake that was that it slithered in the house, and she was just laying there, and that thing was slithering. Looked like it was about to get up there with her. Hell nah. I'm going, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Did I do everything I wanted to do? I did show y'all how I move it from that to that. But now, I guess I'm not done. Okay, give me a second. So what I'm going to do now is in those cells that I have free, I'm going to show you, and I'm just going to show y'all one. I'm just going to do one, just to show you, okay? Because then I do have to do something with these. And I'm going to have hubby, these will be okay for a few days in here. All I have to do is kind of put some water at the bottom, just so the roots will start finding the water at the bottom. I could actually keep them in here like for a week or two and keep them under the grow light, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just saying I could. Okay, I am either today or tomorrow. I'm going to find out where I'm gonna put them. I'm probably gonna put them in a cup. Okay, a bigger cup, because they're not ready to be placed in the ground yet. Now the one that I showed y'all that I took from outside, where the stalk is weak right now, and it's not strong enough. And so, but that one that I just put out on Monday and just showed y'all, that it looked more like a branch, which means it's sturdy and prepared. And I could put that one in the ground, but I wouldn't put these in the ground yet, because it is susceptible to a few things coming and eating it. Okay, and so that's why I won't do that. But I could and just take my chances, or I could and cover it up with a net to keep the birds away. I could do some other things and actually put them in the ground. But I'm making a watermelon patch, an area that I'm gonna choose where I'm gonna grow most of the watermelon, and I'm gonna just let them do their thing. You can plant a watermelon, and also, because the belief is it needs full sun, but the truth is, what needs full sun? Are they talking about the roots? Because the roots in the ground. Are they talking about the leaves? Yes. So you can literally grow it in a shady part, but it needs to be close to where it'll travel and go look for that full sun that it needs. Okay. So yeah. And there's a lot of rules that they say that's not necessary. It's just for the best growth, right? For the most optimum growth, they tell you what to do. But you think people knew back then that, hey, I can only grow this in full sun? No, they cannot. It gotta be on the north side. If it's on the north side, then that's the only way it's gonna grow. Where it get 8 hours of sun a day. If it only gets 6 hours of sun a day, ooh, it's gonna do bad. People didn't know that. Okay. And they was doing well. Okay. Let me put that there. I'm not throwing that away. That's just what I'm using, the medium I'm using. And I hope, so basically what I do, y'all, is the same thing I did with those cups. I put some things in. I'm going to take one of my, the okras. Let me see. I need to, because whatever I grow, I like to grow the full cell of that thing. I need to find out what this is so I can take those out. But if I'm correct, this is okra also. This is okra, which make these two also okra. No, I see the watermelon portion about the, yeah, I see it. Yeah, sometimes so I do have a list of what these things are. It's upstairs. I have a tablet that I keep, and I know which rows, and based on the row number, that's what I know. Okay. And when I didn't have my notebook down here on Monday when I did this, I stuck a little tab with that in on it. Okay, this is okra. These are popping up. They're doing well. Um, because it is warm enough now outdoors, I can take these out, and everything else I could start growing directly in the ground, especially the okra. Okay, that means it'll get full sunlight. It'll grow quicker with that full sunlight, and it'll get its nutrients directly from the dirt, or the soil, dirt. It's both out there. Okay, all dirt isn't soil, and all soil isn't dirt. I guess that's the thing. Ooh, okay, I talk too much. I'm gone. Happy 4th of July. And hey, Reese, how you doing? No, I'm not gonna grow the watermelon in the house. I started it in the house. Um, Happy Independence Day to you as well, girl. Call it 4th of July, okay? Well, Anyway, I will be sewing. So I'm getting ready to start cutting my 2.5 strips. I'm just gonna make these blocks, and then I'll decide what I'm gonna do with them from there. Cause it's a lot of things I could do with them instead of making like a quilt. Like I really just want to. I learned something watching a YouTube video, and I want to do it. And I keep thinking, yeah, I just want to do it. I just want to do it. But what am I gonna do with it after? So I was thinking, okay, I'm gonna do a couple of different little colors, and then from there, I can make bags with those blocks. I can, instead of making a full quilt, I could cut it up. I can make clothes with those blocks as well. Put the blocks on the sleeve. I could make a full shirt that look like a quilt. There's a lot of things I could do, but I decided I'm gonna just do a few, and I just want to do them. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna put this back under my grow light real quick. I do have some empty cells. I have some empty cells here, a few here, a couple there, and I do not want to mix the plants up. So that means before I put anything in this row, I need to. Okay, there's only one thing in this row. This watermelon right here. It's dry. I should just take it. I'm gonna take it now because it is kind of dry anyway, like the other one was. Let me see. I don't want to make a mess when I do it. What was I using? Oh, I put it over there. Let me grab something else. I'll use this. Okay, I'll put that there. Put this here, and I'm gonna grab this out of here. Okay. I'll go underneath. Squeeze that up like that. Okay, I'm gonna put you in there. Like that. Yeah, you try. It's a good thing I checked on this today. Where did I use all of it? I don't think so. Yeah, I did. Okay, I have to swell up a few more of these things right here. I do see a coffee. I think I see a tea. Hold up. Yeah. Right here. So here's one. Remember I said that I use the tea bags. Or that hubby. And I'll just put that in there. Like that. I'm going to wet that up. Because that thing is dry. What did I do with the fertilizer? Did I bring it back in the room? I don't see it. Let me see. Make sure this is water. There. Yeah, because it was dry. I'm going to have to wet that up pretty well in there because the roots. Cool. Okay. And that's how you keep bugs out of your, keep the bugs out because you're not using soil. Don't lose dirt outside indoors when you're growing things. Okay, we're gonna let that settle, and then I'm gonna put a little more water in it. Okay, I'm gonna put this back over there. And that is watermelon. Okay. So what I could do, let me see. I said I was gonna do it. Yeah. Let me see. I'll move all this out the way. I'm gonna move these over there. And I'm gonna put some water in this. Just a little bit, enough to go to the top where the water will go in there. And then I'm gonna put these in here like this. And then I'm gonna sit it outside and see and get them to perk up. So all of these are watermelon. And then when hubby cut the tops off, but these are eventually going in the ground. I do have a bucket. Remember I said I was going to grow hydroponically in a bucket. Hubby just have to make the holes in the bucket for me. If he does that, I might get him to do it today. I don't know. I don't think I want to work on this today. I tried to get in here before he woke up, so I could sew. I want him to come downstairs, so he, you know what I mean. So I'm gonna run that sewing machine, and I didn't want to wake him up. So look, you just gotta be creative. So this is the same thing that's happening in a water bottle right now is what's happening here. I just have many things in one thing. It has that much water at the bottom, which will feed these things for the next couple of days. If I put it outside, it may only, because of evaporation through the sun, I may have to put water in it tomorrow. But, and I have no problem doing that. So that means I may constantly keep this in here until I'm ready to put them in the ground. But to see how simple that was is put them in something, make sure they stay watered. The roots will find its way to the water as they grow, and then when I'm ready, I'll go out and plant them in ground. These are watermelons. Some of them I am going to do hydroponically, and I think I'm just going to do 1 or 2 hydroponically, which this one right here, it looks so sad. That thing looks so sad. Now, remember what happened into this basil with those mites? That's what I got to be very careful of. So I'm going to put this out. But before I put it out, I'm about to put some hot pepper on it. Okay, let me see if I have some down here. Cayenne pepper, y'all. I'm going to take some cayenne pepper. And I'm going to sprinkle cayenne pepper on the soil and on the plant itself. Okay. It don't need to be a lot, but it do need to be on any surface. You're going to keep the birds away by it being on the plant. The leaves themselves. It's not going to affect the leaves. It's not going to change the taste. Okay. And that's what you do if you're putting it outside. And that will prevent what can happen. Now, once it's infected, I would have to make a concoction to get them off that plant. The one, okay, so this is in here. I sprinkled it down with cayenne pepper. We have a hotter pepper that I used through the years, but it's up there. I can't reach it. So the cayenne pepper is where I can reach it, so I'll use that. Shouldn't be no problem. The ones that stay inside don't need that, right? Because there's no bugs inside. But these are about to go in my front, in my front yard right quick. I'm about to just sit it right there by the door. Oh, I'm going to put it by the door indoors, and when hubby wake up, he can put it. Because I don't have no clothes. Okay? It was a little dark when I went out there earlier. I hurry up and ran in and out. Okay? So that's what you do. And that'll keep birds, that'll keep bugs, mites, everything. They're going to keep things off. Okay? Because they're not going to like that. First of all, some things sense it. They going to smell it. They're not going to like it. Some things, they're going to land on it. And they're going to be like, oh, hell no. And I'm going to put that by the door for hubby to grab. Okay, so I'm gonna shut this down. I hope that helped. I just used some regular cayenne pepper. That's all I used. So that cayenne pepper. That's when it's going outdoors. If it's going indoors, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to really worry about bugs indoors. Okay? I'm gonna put that outdoor too. And this one is going outside. This looks so sad. I don't know why. This one look. You see it? It's like drooping. I just planted it in there. Maybe I need to water it in. It just looks so bad. It looks like it's crying. The poor thing. It looks like it's just like, help me. But you shouldn't be thirsty right now. Wow, it wasn't even looking like that when it was in here. So maybe I was careful with the roots, but it may be sad. You know, some of the roots may have. I mean, of course, you know, I manipulated the roots. But anyway, I'm going, y'all. I will be back. When I'm back, though, I will be sewing. And if y'all got a topic, I said we were going to review. Hey, what's going on, Sharon? I keep saying hi to you, but I'm not sure if you're still here. You do those hit and runs on people, baby. I'm hoping you and the family doing well. I don't know how to contact you, so I didn't know how to, you know what I mean? Because I definitely would have been like, hey, I'm leaving a message just to make sure you good. But your cousin did tell me you was good. And so are you doing something today? Anyway, tell the wifey, Mrs. Sharon, okay? That we miss her. We miss her. Okay, everybody miss your show, baby. They resulting back to turning back into red pill pillars, baby. We need you. You gonna make me have to come back? I don't want to come back. You know what I'm saying? And get on my torturing of the red pillars. You was doing such a great job, doing a good job. Reese, they're resorting back. They over there blaming women for all kinds of shit. And when women get up there and be like, and give them an example, or another man, Aunt Tick called that man, called him out his name. I was shocked. I'm like, all he said was no, that wasn't her fault. Man, they blamed that woman, and it was a fucking movie. They act like that shit was real. These motherfuckers who make movies need to be sued or something. Because apparently, motherfuckers have been brainwashed by movies, baby. These motherfuckers, it is so crazy. That was so crazy, Reese. They mentioned a movie, and they gave the scenario, and all they could talk about, because it don't matter what she would have done, it's her fault for what he did. And he the one who did the illegal activity. He the one who put his hands on somebody. He the one who, overreacted or whatever. And that's what some of these men, they listening to some of these men, because even Jay Prince would be one to say, well, women should, for antagonizing, we should be able to beat the shit out of them. But it's weird, because one minute he said he don't put his hands on women, but then he believed that that's what he should be able to do. So is he saying that he don't do it only because of the legalities, or is he saying that I don't know what, I don't be knowing what he be saying, because he be all over the place, right? He be all over the place. He don't want people to, he don't like, well, he say he don't care, you know. He say he don't care what people think, but we know that's not true at all. In fact, I know that's not true. Like, I personally know that he does care. He may not care what everybody think, but he do think what, you know, and I think that's like with most of us. We don't care what most people think, right? But shit, the ones we do like and appreciate and respect, we do care what they think, you know. And wow, but you know, at a certain age, some of this talking. Anyway, I'm gonna change the time. This was supposed to be about gardening. I'm gone. I'll be back later. Yeah, I'll be back later. See you later, Reese. Bye, everybody. Look, Sharon, see how Sharon comes in and type his shit and he be gone in no time. Because he said one thing, and by the time I saw it, which wasn't that long after, he ain't respond since. He gone. He come through, he say hi, and he like, I'm out. Okay. See you later, Reese. Have fun if you're doing something for the fort. Girl, all I'm going to do is sew, and that's only if I get to sew, because Leaky Leak might want to go to the pool. I ain't taking him to the pool. Don't have me lying talking about, I'm going to take my grandson to the pool. The fort going to be a lot of people in the pool. Okay. What today is? Today Thursday? No, today Friday. Okay. I'm about to say Thursday is adult day at the pool. But it's the fort. They may have changed the rules and shit. Right? I ain't going out there with them goddamn kids. I'll go on adult night and bring Leaky. And they tried to argue that down. I'm like, he 5. He here with me. I'm not here with him. Look, that's the difference. He here with me on adult night. And because he's young, I know that pool gonna be packed. Okay. And I ain't going out there, nah. I'm not even going in my garden until it cool down. And then that's when the mosquitoes come out and bite your ass. They be tearing me up. That's why I'm doing all this stuff still indoors. Okay? Because the last time I went out there, and my leg is swollen again. I don't know why it happened. Yesterday, my leg just, I looked down and I was like, damn. Yeah. Y'all, I don't know. But I ain't gonna lie, like I've heard, like when we get to a certain age, all kinds of shit be happening. But I've been hearing this type of thing happening to people starting in their 40s. So to be honest, for it to start happening to me in my 50s, I just be thinking, okay, I'm one of the lucky ones, right? I ain't gonna lie, because I know people who in their goddamn 30s have to wear them, what they call them, stockings, them, some kind of socks or stockings, right? And I know people, they were wearing that shit since they talking about the doctor told me I gotta wear these. Like, I'm like, what? How in the hell socks help? Like, I was like, socks? And they were like, yeah, socks? And then, so here I am, and they told me I had to wear socks, but that's not the problem. Whatever they think the problem is not. So that means I gotta start getting tested and all that shit done. And then, but then when I have an appointment, I don't go. But I'm gonna have to start going. Okay. I'm trying to start sewing now after I made these grits. Girl, I ain't even make no breakfast. Hubby gonna come down and make some breakfast though. That's why I gotta hurry up and get out the kitchen. What time is it? Yeah. And look, he gonna come. Ooh, you make grits? Girl, you making me want to start some grits. You ain't even right for that. Hubby ain't gonna make no grits. He don't eat them. I don't even think he know how to cook them. Okay? I'll be to put them damn grits on. We got bread. We got bread. Grits. Eggs and toast. Oh, man. You so wrong for that, Reese. Reese, you're so wrong. You're so wrong. You got me thinking about cooking, girl. I ain't cooking shit. I'm going upstairs and act like I'm tired. Wait, is hubby watching? And Mr. Baum saying, look, he might be listening to me and my plan and my scheming and conniving. my scheming and conniving right now. He finding out, wait, what? You be scheming and conniving? Be like, yeah, baby. These men say all black women scheme and connive. So shit, I'm making it true. They said it, baby. Blame them. They say, Bomb, you doing it wrong, Bomb, because all black women scheme and connive. So I sat down with Reese, and me and Reese was sitting at the kitchen table thinking about cooking some grits. And we was like, girl, you know these people think all we do is scheme and connive? And Reese was like, yeah, something wrong with these men. And I was like, you know what? Reese, we may be just doing it wrong. Maybe we need to start scheming and conniving. maybe we need to become real black women. Was she playing it? Oh, he is? Oh man, I don't really mess with nights like that. You know, when they become of a certain age and they prove something to me, you know, that they could be just as, yeah, I don't know how he came on the list of me. Like, I'm like, I don't fuck with him. But he's one of them people that I know where people will believe, you know, because they'll call him Unc and everything. And then if he said, they'll believe it. But I already know. Trust no, because he could be real sensible at times. And he could be real sensible at times. Those are the dangerous ones. The ones where people, when they realize, oh, they tell the truth. Oh, they telling most of the truth. They like to tell the truth, right? And then when they tell a lie, people think they telling the truth. Now, I'm not saying he lied, right? I've never caught him in a lie that I could think of, except some shit that he did to me. Personally, for no reason, we was cool than a motherfucker. We was cool, and that's what I'm saying. Like, when these men, when they get involved into some shit they don't even have to get involved with, and then decided to lie on me on behalf of somebody else. So he didn't know neither one of us like that, but I get what you don't know, and you could take a side, but you ain't got to lie. And I don't fuck with him like that. Okay? I don't fuck with him like that. Let him go by them. So I ain't giving him no motherfuckers my time. Okay? Everybody could come over here, but I don't go by everybody. And that's just what that is. But and when I don't go by you, I don't listen to you. Like, if I don't fuck with you, I don't even listen to you. Unless we catching it on the replay on my shit. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie now. I'll make some content of some niggas. But I ain't going over there. It's the ones that I don't trust. I can go by anybody, you know, just because I don't like you or fuck with you. If I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. But I have this thing where I learned a lesson, right? I learned a hard lesson here on YouTube where I was speaking for somebody. You know, I was like, nah, they're not like that. No, they're not like that. Because the truth was, most of the time from what I saw, they wasn't like that. And so when people say, well, like when people was getting up here, well, Bomb, well, you didn't have no problem with him when y'all was cool. And I was like, but I didn't know. Like, the fuck is you talking about? They were like, people were saying, I say, people say a lot of shit, but what people were saying wasn't true, right? The shit that she would lie about was some big ass shit, you know? They were like, well, you ain't worried that when you know she had a criminal record? I didn't know she had a criminal record. But people said it. Yeah, I said, and people said I had a criminal record too. That don't make it true. And I still don't look into people's backgrounds. When people doxing people, I don't listen. I don't go look. I might see somebody say, yeah, they're over there doxing. And I'd be like, oh, they over there doxing. And people might be on my panel or call me and tell me what happened, what was said. And that's why I don't talk about it, because it's just what people told me. That don't make it true. And I'm not going to fuck with some certain people. Certain people I just don't fuck with like that. And that's the game right there. Because these motherfuckers, man. These motherfuckers been trying. Look, if you don't think these motherfuckers been trying to call and get my husband fired from his job or my children fired from their job, that is something these people been trying to do. Okay? It's unfortunate You know, it's unfortunate. It's fortunate that they haven't succeeded because they don't know. You know, I'm a smart bitch to a degree. I might be dumb in a lot of areas, but honey, I don't have no problem calling people up and saying, hey, this is what's going on the internet. And like the local police officers and shit, and not even CPS know that, hey, if you get a call for this address, it's already alerted that, hey, it's already been flagged as she's on the internet and this is what people are doing. So here's the number you could call. Like, so if I'm in distress, got a gun to somebody here, they call and I answer and everything sound cool, then everything good. They ain't got to come here and do no swatting on my ass. They could call. All right. Oh, this is way worse than high school. I hope it ain't nowhere near like high school. I'm okay with the, you know, the rumors and shit. There's always been rumors. Usually though, it was men, and their little lies would be that they slept with you or some shit like that. You know, them rumors like that didn't work on me much, cause of my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, there was one young man I didn't even know. Like the rumor, he had just spread the rumor that he done been with me in that manner. I didn't even know about it myself. I didn't even hear about it. But apparently, my dad did hear about it in the street, because he must have told somebody, and somebody was ready to rat me out, girl. They was like, I heard your daughter, and my dad was like, what? Look, I didn't even hear the rumor. But my dad went and sat down with the young man and his mother to find out what's going on. You been with my daughter? No, sir. He yeah, like what's going on? My daughter been over here? And the mother says she don't even know me. My dad knew I hadn't been nowhere because he watched over me like a goddamn hawk. It wasn't until I was a certain age could I sneak out. That's when I was dating. That's when all that's when all the shit that I tell y'all that happened to me. That I was dating age, right? I was able. He would let me go on a date and shit. Even then, still I had to be back home at a certain time. It still be broad daylight out, and the shit that we doing dirty is in broad daylight. Cause by nighttime, nightfall, shit, I had to be in the goddamn house. We doing out, me and my friend doing our dirt. Okay, I think I couldn't stay by nobody's house until I was like 16, 17. And then he wouldn't let me spend the night. My mom would have to argue with him to let me stay somewhere. Okay, look at here, yeah. I done let the mites in here. I got to get this shit out of here. Okay, I'm gone, y'all. I got to get this basil out of here. I got to get it out of my house. Sad. Okay, so how am I going to get rid of the mites? I'm going to use some dishwashing detergent. So this mites, right? Dishwasher detergent. The same, I'm not sure if it's lemon juice or vinegar, right? I'm going to look it up real quick. They got a little concoction that I'll spray on the leaves and it'll knock them off. It kill them. And then after that, I will also put some cayenne pepper on it. I might be able to put cayenne pepper off and then it'll knock them off. But I don't want to knock them off in my goddamn house, okay? Because I do have other plants, and then they'll run to these other plants. So let me go put this over here. God damn it. I should have never put this outside. It was looking real good. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get this kitchen together. It's not too bad. Usually when I do this, I usually start pulling stuff out my cabinets to show y'all food, opening my refrigerator. Whew, Lord, I did good this time. I did well. That happened to me. Someone told my brother that, and it was a lie. Yeah, you know, men have always been lying on women, you know, for the sake of their friends, boyfriends, you know, and whatever. The girls who were really doing what they do, they didn't have a bad name. Like people just, that's our boyfriend or whatever, right? I had a girlfriend who people was claiming that she was doing all kinds of things with her. Whether she was or not, I don't know, and I didn't care. Yeah, we was in high school. There was a lot of rumors, you know. But do I know if they were true or not? I don't, and I didn't care. Like, cause I didn't trust boys, you know. And now they want to call us liars. It's funny how on that panel, the men just want, oh, she is a liar. Oh, once she tell one lie, I'm going to be always thinking, all she do is lie. Ooh, I'm going to be thinking, oh my God, she been lying to me the whole time? Is her name even who she say she is? Like, it was ridiculous. It was so ridiculous. It's one thing when we having a real conversation, right? And we having a conversation that's real. You know what I mean? Like, but these men like to exaggerate. Either these motherfuckers is crazy, Reese, for real, where they sitting there really letting something like that get on their mind over and over and over again, which mean they're crazy, right? Or they're just exaggerating to make this ridiculous point. And I will say that some of those men are, like, I'm going to be honest, okay? I ain't going to mention no name, but what I will say is there was somebody up there who was making it seem like he wealthy like that, right? But if you listen to him other times, it ain't all like that. And that's when, like, why they gotta lie for? Look, what they got, if I was on my computer, I'll find a beat right now. What they gotta lie for? Go outside, nigga. What you gotta lie for? Go outside, nigga. What you gotta lie for? These men not going outside, baby. They ain't going no goddamn way. Okay? They need to go outside, Reese. Go see some sunlight or something. Damn, it is the summer months. Okay? It's been warm in many places. It's even warm in Delaware right now. Go your ass outside. Shit. Okay, I gotta move some of this stuff. I came down here and the kitchen was just in disarray. I ain't never seen a kitchen like this before. My kitchen anyway. But I hadn't been down here in like 2 days. So nobody ran the dishwasher. The sink was full of dishes. I was like, how many goddamn people live up in here? How could you have so many dishes? So I had to put the dish that was in the dishwasher, put them away, and put this, because I didn't want my hubby to come down, you know, doing that. He probably saw it yesterday. Okay? And if he left it, that means he must be tired. If hubby or one of my kids came down after hubby went up and brought dishes out their room. Because they will do that, okay? They will hoard dishes. It'll be like 4 or 5 dishes in their goddamn room, and they'll bring them down all at one time. The most ridiculous thing. And now they in the kitchen cooking. Like one of my sons, the one who with the protein thing, he's down here cooking now. So he must don't know that cooking equates you gotta clean too. Shit, before you wasn't cooking, you were barely in the kitchen. Now you're cooking. Clean your mess up. Look, they got my blender. I got a white blender, y'all. It's white. See? And they gotta be clean. You could tell. I just don't understand. I don't even use this thing was up. You could tell it was kind of up because nobody was using it. But now one of my sons use it to mix his protein drinks. Girl, they just be doing too much, girl. Okay? Or should I say they're not doing enough. Okay? They don't know that this stuff got to get clean. I don't know. I don't understand. Men who I guess it's my fault. Right? It's my fault. Because the truth is, like, I'm the one who, I'm making videos and everything, telling people how to clean their walls and everything. I guess my son, I done taught people how to clean except my goddamn kids. What the hell? That's some crazy shit right there. That's some crazy shit for your ass right there. I done taught y'all how to clean your toaster, right? And everything, how you clean your stuff, right? And but apparently, if you come to my kitchen right now, you'll be like, Mom, what's going on? How you gonna teach us how to clean? Look at your kitchen right now. Be like, damn, you right. It's my goddamn kids. Okay? They're gonna have to start paying me. I gotta, and then now, yeah, I used to have a payment. They used to pay me $25 a week each to clean their rooms. And I would clean their rooms and their bathroom. Right? But they make the money. What's the problem? But then they started getting cheap, girl. They didn't want to pay me. They're like, we gonna do it. But then they don't. And they'll clean it, like the toilet bowl and sink. That'll be clean. I'm like, what's wrong with the doors? Why you ain't wash the walls down? And they acting like they ain't never seen me wash no walls down. I'm like, the walls will turn a different color. We got white doors all throughout this house. I'm like, you got to clean these fingerprints. You don't see these fingerprints? Get this shit off. It just take a rag and just clean it. Don't let it get so bad to where it's so disgusting you want to move. You ever lived in a house? The walls get so bad you want to move out. You want to move out just because the walls. We lived in the house for 16 years, but my kids were young, right? They grew up in the house. For some reason, they would always touch the wall when they walked up the stairs. But the thing is, they didn't even have a room upstairs. Their room was downstairs, but the main bathroom was upstairs. My office was upstairs. Our room, and my office was upstairs. Until my oldest, got a certain age, then I gave my office to my youngest. They touched the goddamn wall. Now Leaky touches the wall, but I'm teaching him not to touch the wall so much. But he's a young. But they was teenagers, and for some reason they grabbed the wall. That's why they be in the club holding up the wall. They so used to just grabbing walls. Let me go, y'all. I'll talk to you later, Reese. Bye, everybody. Have a good day. If I don't go live, because I did want to, I keep saying I want to do something, but I haven't been feeling well. Like I said, my leg was swell. I don't know why my leg swelled up. But I got scared. Like when it swells up like that, just out the blue, I was scared. I was like, damn, what am I doing? So I laid down and went to sleep. But I was sewing. I sewed a couple of blocks. But anyway, I think I did sew yesterday, didn't I? I sewed, yeah, a couple of key fobs. I ended up making like 10 key fobs yesterday. And I did open an Etsy shop, and I have to take pictures of things and put them in, and stuff like that. Okay, so there was a streak going up the stairs on the wall. Yes, girl, in the same spot. Like I even have pictures. Like when I would take pictures, I have a picture of my son when he was in his suit and everything, and right behind him, you could see grease spot. But now he's a he's a teenager. I think he was going to prom, so I think he definitely was in high school, girl. Yeah, I opened it, girl. I'm scared. I got some things there, because what I'm worried about is they didn't change the rules. Like they recently changed rules, canceled people account. Some things you can't sell, and so and you have to have pictures. Like before, you was able to make, like let's say I made something in just with just pictures, but the item's not made, which is usually like if I wanted to make a t-shirt, right, and they have people where they will make, I forget what they call it, but they will make a t-shirt on paper only, digitally only, but the t-shirt not really made for real. And then when you order the shirt, then they make the shirt, and Etsy not letting you do that no more. Etsy say the item got to be Like they trying to get only the homemade people, the handmade people. They're getting rid of the people who having stuff made by other people. Which they got a lot of people who don't even, they just linked an account to an account. They put pictures on the cups and yeah, I have Shopify too. Now on Shopify I can sell what the hell I want. So I already have a Shopify. I'm just still working on it too, right? Because I was really worried about giving people my bank account, and I broke down and gave it to Etsy. But somebody tried to hack me through Etsy right after I made the account. I'm not even joking. I just opened it. I put in the bank account information and everything. And maybe like 15 minutes later, which is weird. I guess because the shop popped up. But who in the hell watching for shops to pop up? So, soon as I opened it and everything went through, I got an email. And it was weird. And it says, it made it seem like it ordered something because it had the link to the item that was in my shop. And I read it and I said, damn, like I got an order already. I was kind of excited, but still wondering, wait, like, because why would it be in my messages? Like it was a message from somebody. It wasn't an Etsy message. So I was like, wait a minute. So they had two links. One of the links was to my account, to my item. But when I clicked on it, which I clicked on it in Sandbox or Incognito, right? Where that's where you can go, you can hit the link, but it's like it's called Sandbox is what it is. Your information not there where they could grab it or anything. So I hit the link in that, and when I looked, it said that it was in the UK. I'm like, my shop should not be in the UK. What the hell? That's crazy. And there was another link. And when I clicked that link in Sandbox, it told me that it was dangerous. The link was dangerous, which meant I probably would have hit the link, which I did. But when it told me it was dangerous, I backed out. I didn't let it continue. They would have grabbed my information. And a lot of people store their bank account information on their computer. I do not, okay? Every time I do something online, first of all, I do it either through PayPal or Cash App. And secondly is, do not save your bank account on your computer, y'all. Because if you do get hacked, that's what they're looking for. Okay? Be very careful. It's probably that stalker, Slow Cal. He's weird as hell, him. No, this was somebody else. This somebody who, because I never told nobody I had it open. I think this might be my second time mentioning it, but I didn't give nobody a link or anything. But it showed that I had a sale, and when I read it a few times, and then it said potential sale. Why would that don't even make sense. A potential sale? And what do I do with a potential sale? You know what I mean? They was like, you got a potential sale, and then it gave this link that it wanted me to hit. So then I was like, God damn. And see, I think these websites are complicit in these things. They're complicit. There's things they can do to protect people from certain things. So the person who sent me I reported them. I hit report, and it's probably somebody who worked at the company. Like, imagine, how do anybody know that my shop just opened? I'm not saying they know me personally, but they know that the shop just opened. Like, I just got approval and everything. How do they know that? How do they know that? And the reason they know that is because they got to be working for the company or have somebody work for the company, and it pops up as a new shop. Unless there's some way where you could go and look up, show me all newly open shops. I'm going to look that up and see if that's true. Can they see newly open shops? Because I am telling you, I promise you the shop wasn't open for 30 minutes. I saw it in 30 minutes. It probably happened as soon as the shop opened. But when I went to go, I was messing around, doing some things, learning how to put things on draft, because I have a lot of items. Like, I've been putting items up for over a year, And slowly, you know, putting in the titles and the, describing them, and finally I started putting pictures up. You know, I've been doing it slowly through the over the year, but they changed their rules, because I ain't gonna lie, I'm not good at giving no examples of what my descriptions of what my items are. I just want to put a goddamn picture. I don't want to have to tell y'all that got other bullshit, but I gotta go and measure the things and all that. I'm like, oh my god, you know what I mean? So I had to start doing that and writing it in my notebook. So, and then they want you to put a description. I don't want to do all that, but I have to, seem like. But anyway, see you later. I'm out. I'm rambling.